Hey guys, welcome to our August compilation video. I know I said that I'd have this out yesterday. However, yesterday I worked a 12-hour, and then it was our club meeting, which I had forgotten about until the night before. And, by the time I got back home, it was a little late, and I was supposed to work today. Wasn't enough work for everybody, so I opted for a day off after about 48 hours in the last 4 days. Let somebody else have some hours. And we'll get this out to you. So this is, of course, our monthly release video where we talk about all of the kits we expect to see in the month of August. And there's quite a bit, actually. Now, I will state up front that the Revell kits, because we always do the domestic stuff first, the Revell kits are subject to change or, until they actually publicly admit to what they're doing. I'm basing this off a vendor order sheet from one of our local vendors here as far as what he was told he can buy for August, because, of course, it's now Tuesday, the 11th of August, and Revell still hasn't updated either one of their websites. So, notebook of knowledge time here. On the, I'll start on the domestic side of things so you guys can tap out if you don't care about the Japanese stuff. From Revell, you're supposed to be getting the official U.S. distribution of the Revell of Germany BMW i8. Now, that's a kit that's been available now for a couple of months, if you were willing to source it out of Europe, because, of course, it was released there first. This is not going to be in a regular, Revell square small box. This is going to be in the traditional Revell of Germany boxes. There's not a separate licensing as of yet for the kit to be released here in a Revell USA box. So it's going to be, $32 thereabouts. It's $31.95 on Tower, but this is the official distribution. If your local hobby shop carries Revell of Germany stuff, this will be when they're going to be getting it in. Also, directly from the actual Revell, they're going to be reissuing the 1984, I believe it's an 84, Ford Ranger F-150. This is back when the Ranger was still a trim level on the full-size pickup truck. I believe it was actually the last year it was available as a trim level before it became the actual small pickup truck that competed against the S10 and stuff. That's an old monogram tool. It's 124 scale. I think I may have built one of these back in the day. It was one of those kits that sort of still floated around in the mid-'80s when I started building. Seriously. Started building glue kits, because I've been building Snap-Tight stuff for that. I always say that, 1988 or thereabouts was when I started building glue kits on my own without any assistance. And I think I may have built one. There was a couple of kits that were actually in the sort of mid-'80s 4x4 stuff. And none of these kits have seen the light of day since, except the Bronco version of the Ford Ranger F-150. And then last but not least, allegedly, I cannot promise you this will come out this month until Revell says one way or the other, or the end of the month shows up and they actually show up. But the 1929 Ford Hot Rod, I know a lot of people out there are very interested in this kit. I'll probably get one myself, not traditionally in my normal genre, but it just seems like a cool thought. That 29 Ford Hot Rod, that brand new tool, 2-in-1 kit, you can build it with a high boy or low boy, is supposed to come out in August according to the vendor sheet. What will come out? Well, maybe Revell will finally, confirm and we can reconfirm to you guys, but as of right now, that is what is expected. Over at Round 2, they're going to be releasing 2 kits under the MPC marketing and 1 under the AMT. The AMT, they're calling the 1940 Willys Coupe Curly. This is yet another Three Stooges tie-in kit that has nothing to do with the Three Stooges. You may recall they've done the Three Stooges Beer 1940 Ford sedan delivery. This is just a straight-up reissue of the 1940 Willys Coupe, the drag racing version, obviously. They're going to include pad-printed tires in it this time. There is literally a bonus whoopee cushion in the box. Yes, I didn't stutter. There's a bonus whoopee cushion in the box. It's going to be molded in purple. And I am quoting here because this was so epic. The decals are going to be fun-filled with goofy graphics and zany phrases. I realize that we are not the primary market of a lot of Round 2's toolings. All of the movie tie-in stuff obviously is aimed at collectors rather than builders. I don't know when the 1940s Willys Coupe was actually out last. I didn't bother to go look because, Revell already makes two of them that are currently on shelves, and is there really market for a third one? I guess for the people who build gassers and like Willys in the general, yeah, here's another one. Over at MPC, they're going to be reissuing the Cosmic Charger, the Carl Casper Fuel Dragster. This is going to bring back some acid flashbacks for some of you guys. Got a whole newly designed retro decal sheet. It'll look like the original decal sheet. Retro box, gonna have a little, the little mini collector's box inside. Pad printed slicks, and they're also putting in 15 newly tooled parts. 10 of those are going to be for, a new blower and front motor cover, and then they're going to be including front wheel fairings. So this is going to take the kit from its origins, I guess, in the maybe late 60s, early 70s, and making it actually even more like the actual real thing that existed. They worked with Carl Casper to make it more accurate and less toy and more like the actual model kit. And then they're also going to be reissuing the 1982 Dodge van underneath the Bad Company logo. I don't know if you did have to pay for that, because there's been two different versions of that song now. The original Bad Company version, and then Five Finger Death Punch did a version a couple years ago. I mean, it is a song title. I wonder what the licensing is really like on that. But at any rate, they've restored all of the parts. You can now build this as it was originally in 1982, which includes the original stock correct grill. Anybody who's a fan of or knows the AMT Dodges vans knows that the grill got completely bollocksed somewhere around 1982, and then every reissue of the kit since then has had a goofy grill that's part of a 1970s grill, part of a 1980s grill, and is correct for nothing at all. So this is going to have the original 1982 twin stack headlight stock grill, plus a custom grill. You can cut the roof out and put a great big piece of glass in the roof. It's going to be a 2-in-1. They've restored the turbine wheels for the custom version. And, again, that's not going to be high up on the priority purchase list, but it is kind of neat to have that van back, because the last time it was reissued was back in the, late 90s, under the AMT Ertl badge as the Rescue 911 ambulance. Of course, it was just a regular Dodge van with ambulance graphics. It had none of the actual ambulance parts you would expect, like a stretcher or anything in it. But that reissue had the weird, wonky 2 years that aren't correct grill. So, like I said, if I can catch one at a show for less than retail, I might snag one of those. Excuse me, guys. Now, over onto the Asian side of things, there's a pile of stuff that we're expecting to come out here. Of course, the B-Max Chevy Cruze is somewhere in transit. It has not shown up yet, and for those guys who watched our weekly video know that as of tomorrow, most of Japan is going to be on a 5-day holiday, so we don't expect much in the way of information to come out on that. The Hasegawa is going to be reissuing their Volkswagen Type 2 panel van under the Tamago Girls marketing. It's going to be a limited edition kit with a bunch of cartoon girls in swimsuits all over your van. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, there you go. The Type 2 van, just plain, is still in the Hasegawa catalog, so it's not like you need to go out and spend the extra couple dollars. If you happen to want one of those vans are curbside. They're not full detail the way the Revell ones are. The Bell kits, Volkswagen Polo World Rally Championship, that kit is on the water. We mentioned in the Stash Project video on Friday, you can actually actively track the ship. They have the kits on. It was supposed to stop in Malaysia on Sunday, and I haven't bothered to look at the last 2 days to see where it's at right now, but that probably isn't going to come out till the end of the month on how many ports that boat has to hit still. Tamiya is going to be reissuing the Lexus LFA in the see-through clear body. And then they're also going to be issuing, because this is there's going to be some new parts here and an old kit, the Nissan Skyline GTR R32 GTR. This is going to be the Nismo Custom. There's going to be a whole parts tree full of stuff, new wheels, just a bunch of pieces. I got to go track down. I saw a picture of the parts. I got to track that down if I can to show you guys. But it's not necessarily. A lot of people thought it was going to just be a bunch of parts out of the race car kits jammed into the street car kit. It's not. All these parts are maybe patterned after those parts, but they're newly tooled. None of those parts were all on one tree before. Over Fujimi, 2 kits have actually come out. I don't know if we're going to do, like I said, going to do a stash project this week or not, because there's only going to be 2 kits to talk about as of yet. I think there might be some reissues out of the Aoshima stuff here, so maybe we'll do and maybe we won't. But the Nissan Skyline R32 GTR and the Nissan Skyline 1972 GTX Ken and Mary 4-door. Those are both put in the Toge series, the Mountain Pass Racing series. Those kits both came out this yesterday morning, actually. And then they've also got the Nissan Fairlady Z32, which we here will call 300ZX, the early 90s version. That's also going to be in the Toge series. Has not come out yet. The Nissan Fairlady 280Z Air 1. That's going to be in the Inch Up series. That's still pending. And then the Ferrari Enzo, Ferrari F40, and Dino 246 GT, all really basic curbside kits, all in the Real Sports things. Like I was talking about before, they're all about $12 if you happen to want one of these kits, and you don't mind the fact that it doesn't have a full engine. It's a real cheap way to get into those kits. Those are all still pending. And then the 2003 WRX STI /V Limited 2-in-1. They're taking 2 kits and combining them into one box. And also the, I guess it'd be a mid-90s Subaru Impreza STI 2-door, Type 4, Type 6. Both of those were separate kits. They're both in one box now. It's some bumpers and stuff are differences there. Both those kits come with window masks, and those kits are still pending. Pretty much all of the Fujimi kits that I mentioned after the first 2 that actually came out are all going to be late in the month as far as when they're going to be released. They're all going to be, after they come back from vacation, but the Subarus especially are like towards the very end of the month as far as that goes. Over at Aoshima, there's a whole pile of stuff here, so we're going to run through it real quick. Excuse me, guys, just woke up. The 2007 WRX STI Ings version, that is the tuner version of the traditional 5-door STI. The DAD RB81 Honda Odyssey, that's a VIP van. 1970 Nissan Skyline 2000 GTR KPC-10. That is one of the Skyline series kits, so it's best car vintage. The Takayashi Ryusugo RC3S RX7, that's an initial D sponsor kit. The Toyota VG45 Century L, which is just a baseline Toyota Century, is being reissued. That got reissued for the first time a long time, probably about 8 months ago, and they eventually sold out of them, so they're going to be restocking that. Under also as a FD3S, which is like a 1990 to 1990, I think it's 1993 to 1996, or somewhere in that general genres when the FD3S was out. That RX-7 they're going to be doing in the Vertex tuning version. The Toyota Racing Development A86 Truno N2 spec. That'll be reissued. The 72 Celica 1600 GT, again, another best car vintage kit. The Lamborghini Aventador, the Lamborghini Aventador Roadster, the 2007 WRX STI optional wheel kit, which, as we discussed before, is the blue one with the gold, rally-style wheels on it. The fabulous Toyota Estimus Aris, which is another VIP van, and a 1981 430 Cedric Brougham hardtop 280E, another best car vintage old 4-door Nissan kit, and then 4 sets of wheels. On the 20-inch side, you got the Professor VF1 and BBS LMs with the gold centers, and then on the traditional, I think, 19-inch Volk Racing RE painted in Formula Silver, and then the VGG2 raised wheels, not raised wheels set. It wasn't actually a raised wheel. And then there's 2 kits that we don't really know what's going on with right now, and that is the Ebro Citroen 2CV pickup and the Citroen DS19. Those were originally, when they were put up for pre-order, were said to be August releases. Now, Hobby Link Japan still says it is, but Hobby Link Japan's stocking system has been really wonky as of late. The Alfa Romeos, for instance, the 155s we talked about last week, are not available for pre-order. They're still showing as discontinued. I gotta go drop them an email, I guess. And then these kits are still showing as an August release on Hobby Link Japan. Ebro has not said 2 words about them on Facebook or any other social media. And over at Hobby Search, the old 1999 link that you see at the end of the video, they're just saying not fixed as far as what the release goes. So those kits may be, careening out of into the fall, perhaps even into the fourth quarter, depending on what's going on with that. Because you may recall there was also supposed to be an Asuka co-branded version that was going to be like a Royal Marines military version of the 2CV pickup truck, and we haven't heard hide nor hair about that since then. And that was supposed to come out at the same time. And of course, the Asuka Ebro co-marketed bakery flour shop Renault 4 Forgana came out. So where those kits are, I don't know. I really honestly would not expect those kits to come out in August at all. Also, there's a couple carryover kits from Aoshima I forgot about here. The Nissan Safari / Patrol, the four-wheel drive with a tank car, the fire vehicle from the Siabo Kitatsu is of course still pending. The McLaren F1 GTR Longtail 1988 Le Mans British GT EMI sponsor number 40. I've actually seen the official box art for that, so that is coming out for sure in August. And then there's also the Nissan SEMA Y31 Impal and the K-Brake Toyota Crown Hyper Zero Custom Version 1. All those, according to Aoshima, are supposed to come out in August. Now, they were supposed to be July kits, and of course, they obviously didn't make it. So, guys, I know it's going to rush in through there. I got to go pick up my kid from band camp, and so if you got any questions, comments, blah blah blah, there's the comment section down there. Leave them. Poo poo on whoever gave the thumbs down on the last video. I mean, really? It doesn't actually bother me, but I just felt I needed to mention it. Just because I'm that guy. At any rate, we'll see you guys on the other side.